Lampeter University. So many memories. Thanks guys for spending some time with me. I appreciate all of you. I'm sorry I didn't get to interview you and get your ideas on how you felt about the university closing down, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for being a part of my life. I wanted to make this video perfect, but instead I got a perfect ending with some great friends on campus. Everyone that's watching, I hope you enjoy the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sails and Trails. My name's Nick. Thank you for joining me on my flipping adventure. Just finished off a 3-day little mini trip back to my old stomping grounds in Lampeter University. Bittersweet. Happy to see the guys, but yeah, it's coming to an end. And this has been my accommodation for the past 3 days. There's fire doors, so they're quite loud, so yeah, you got your desk space, your really small beds, and your en-suites. Yeah, single plane class. That's it. I have a lot of sentimental value in this place, and in particular these days. I drank a bottle of Jameson's whiskey with some of the Irish lads here, and let's just say it caused havoc in the morning. But yeah, I'm doing my rounds of the campus, so I thought I'd start off on the back halls, where in my first year I stayed not in these ones. These ones were, a lot of my friends were in these ones, in Harris, Dawson, Walker, Richards, but these are all shared accommodation. They were also shared bathroom as well. For me, I had to have an ensuite. As you can tell, I've had quite a lot of drink this weekend, so I'm a bit horsey, a bit tired, but I've still enjoyed it. But just about to make my way down to where I stayed in my first year. Obviously I can't go in the building because they've closed it all up now, because basically the students have all gone. And here I am. I actually stayed in that room up there first year. Yeah, really enjoyed it, you know, like the en-suites is great, the being around all the students was amazing as well, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. But we also had 2 other ones then, Roger Bowen and Karloff Mark, where some of the boys stayed as well. But in my time in this university, we had about 1,500, maybe 2,000 students. So it was rocking like all the time. There was parties every halls. There was people, you know, in the SU all day. People in the fields, you know, sitting drinking next to the river. But it's a crying shame of what the university's become now. Just like an actual sad like feeling in me, seeing it go from 1,500 students to less than 100 now. It's crazy. The Willows by here was actually a fully operating building for student support, but as you can see over the years it's just been left to rot, which is really unfortunate. Like I said, this campus has slowly been run down over the years, maybe due to lack of funding, or you know, they were pushing lots of the subjects away, and it sort of made it a bit of a dead university, a bit of a ghost town. But we even had like a brook going through, which they've left though become overrun. But we do have trout in here. I think it's trout anyway. But yeah, this used to be all clear. This actually used to be a red gravel pitch for hockey, I think, hockey. But then they changed it more into an eco sort of garden, which is great, and would have been really nice when we were here, to be fair. Like I said, we were very much a drinking university, and we enjoyed each other's company. But like I said, it looks very, very empty now. So yeah, basically my first year consisted of 3 locations: my halls, the Students' Union, and Cliff Tucker Theatre. Basically, I can't get in it now at the moment. This was the theatre auditorium, whatever you'd like to call it. You could fit like 150, 200 students maybe in there. That's where I used to do a lot of my lectures. So yeah, I'd wake up, roll down the steps and hill, 2 minutes here to make sure I get on time for my lecture. However, I wasn't the greatest of students. I did miss quite a few, so it is what it is. Because this university is so small, and that's a good point actually, it was a very good point. It was small, condensed, and you knew everyone, and the lecturers all knew you. Basically their marketing back then was your name, not a number, and it was very accurate and very poignant in the reason why I came here. I just enjoyed the location, the beauty of the area itself. To be honest, I'm really gutted for students to not be able to actually have this option anymore. It's such a great place, you know. I have a lot of memories here. Some people might disagree with the place itself, but for me and my mates, which I made here, we loved it. But this is the nightlife. Obviously we had town as well, but in here it was called the Extension. So we used to have events. So in my first year we had flirt night. So basically you had 2 delegates who would be in control of making the events, and then you get a group of them arranging it, and we'd have one like once a week, and it was great, you know. It was always buzzing down here. The SU was rammed in the first year for sure. It got a little bit less then because the students started dipping, but in here, there was the daytime sort of SU. It would be open in the evenings when we didn't have events on, but literally you could be in the lectures here, and some people had lectures in the hall there, and if you're looking out and if you're seeing me sat here having a beer, living life, while I should have probably been in there actually, come to think of it. But yeah, so many great memories here. See this room here? I spent like 2 weeks of my life in that room doing my dissertation. I'd basically go there, shower, work, go back there. Barely slept. Did it help? No, it didn't help. But yeah, my laptop broke, so I had to use the computers here, or up in the library as well. But yeah, I've been here 4 or 5 times since leaving. So I actually graduated in 2014, started 2011, fresh 22-year-old. Bit late going to university, I know, but just to see it in that short space of time, the 10 years, go from such a good university, not gonna say amazing, but it was good, to a ghost town. But yeah, they've done some improvements, and you know, they've made some nicer things, but overall the main fundamentals of the university is to have the lecturers here, have the subjects here, get students here, and all of that went down the pan. So I don't know if I'm sort of dreaming or something like that, but I swear the entrance used to be over here for the library, and then they moved it there after they did the Canterbury building. I never went in there. I don't even know where it's for, but I swear there used to be an entrance down there, like over on a bridge. But anyway, yeah. So I spent a little bit of time in that library, not a lot, never been in the country building, but we have the main building then, old building. And like I said, when we were students, we had 1,500, 2,000 people, so they had to use all the auxiliary buildings in town, as well as all of the campus accommodation and extra. Actually, they had to keep making more, and then they even used the old building, which was very rarely used for accommodation because it was usually offices for staff, but because we had such an influx of students, it was just rammed. And the beauty of it is that was a great thing, because like I said, there was money everywhere, there was parties everywhere, you know. The town wasn't exactly too happy we had all these students here, but at the same time the money we used to plough into the actual local community was massive, and they're going to feel the effects now of this university closing. Like, it's got such a knock-on effect, you know, not having the students here, not having the subjects here, not having the core essentials of being a university, and it even affects then the local community as well. I'm just a bit depressed really about this, you know. I come here and I still get that really nice sense of nostalgia, but I also get waves of sadness that it's going. I mean, look at that, you know. Lampeter is the oldest university in Wales. It was built in 1822. At the same time, the only other two universities that are older are Oxford and Cambridge, so it has prestige. It has prestige, and it has a lot going for it. But the funding, like I said, there's so many things I could talk about when it comes to how mismanaged and how the place has just been decaying over the past decade. As you can see, all these buildings by here are full of students. Oh, a lovely courtyard, aren't they? Swam in there the one time. Why not? So just down there is actually the main entrance into this entrance of the university. I wish these crows would be a bit more quiet, but you've got loads of rookeries in all here, and this is all you hear all the time out here. But yeah, like I said, the university's got a lot of history, and this is one of the cases, an example here. This is the mount. It was actually an 11th century moat or mount, which stands on the grounds actually of Lampeter campus. It was made, well, I say made, it was around the times of the Normans when that was there, in 1100s. So you always got something going on in Lampeter. But I actually stayed in Lloyd Thomas. These are en-suite accommodation as well as the ones which I actually stayed in the first year. Never really stayed in them, but it was okay, and I know a lot of people used to stay and used to really enjoy these halls. But yeah, that's sort of mostly the university. There's 1822 downstairs. The reason why it's called 1822 for the canteen sort of place is of course because Lampeter was made in 1822. So the only place outside of the campus where I thought was worth showing you guys is the football pitches, really, and football and rugby pitches. Played a lot of games here, really enjoyed it. We had grassroots groundhoppers come here, 200 plus people come to watch us. We put a nice sort of spread thing on, you know, we did rolls, we did match day cards and stuff like that as well, so people knew who was playing, who we were playing against. I can't exactly remember the team we played against, but we did win the game. I think it was 1-0. It was an amazing game, but I hope they enjoyed it really. But this is the pavilion we used to use. Not a lot really, and behind them was the changing rooms, which never had hot water. But yeah, sadly, this was, well, the university obviously doesn't have students there, let alone teams. But yeah, they sort of folded the teams up, and then this was meant to have been sold, well, supposedly sold for like an Aldi's to go on here, but because the university's closing, or like, well, the university's saying it's not closing, but it's like changing and like letting all the students go to Carmarthen, like moving the courses away, which basically for me means it's closing. But yeah, that might not go ahead. So I don't know what they're going to do, but we actually had this pitch, and it had bobbles and that everywhere. In the winter it was a bog, but at the same time I really enjoyed playing on this pitch. It was super wide, so we were able to just do long ball, or as we normally would call it, hoofing it out, because we were not the best of teams, but we had some good players. Not me. I just barely able to kick a ball half the time, but no, I have a lot of fond memories of this place. Yeah, it's just a shame it's going. So everyone's left now, it's just me. I was the first one here. I wanted to be the last one to leave. I'm just going to take one more stroll around the campus and say my goodbyes. It's a shame I couldn't get into Cliff Tucker or the Founders Library, but you know, it's still been nice to be here. But yeah, one last walk. And this is where I say my farewell to Lampeter. 3 really good years here, 2011 to 2014. Met some fantastic people, great place to be, memories I'll treasure forever. But all good things have to come to an end, as they say. I never forget the experiences I had, the opportunities that I had, and just to be able to spend time with so many great people. But I'm going to leave it here now. We got a little drive home now, 2 hours. But yeah, there's not much else I can say apart from thank you very much, Lampeter. Thank you very much everyone that I went to the university with, whether it be good or bad. You made it. You made the experience. The place just made it just that little bit better. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
To all the Lampeter students, new and old, from my time, from previous, after I left, we had a good time there. SHU and extension, to the crazy wild parties we used to have on halls where people would hang out the windows and ring a fire and everything like that. Even being in the lectures in Cliff Tucker. The football boys, the rugby boys, the netball girls, the hockey boys, everyone. Thank you very much for making my time at our university a pleasure. But sadly, it's probably the last time I would be in Lampeter. But I just wanted to leave this video here and say goodbye to the place. Thank you very much, Lampeter. You were amazing.